Hi everyone, my name is Lele. I'm a geologist with Goliath Resources. I'm here today to present our flagship project in the Golden Triangle of BC, Canada. Just a couple forward-looking statements here. As far as people or like structure of the company goes, we have Roger Rasmus. He is here at the show, but he's tied up in another meeting right now. He's the CEO. There's probably a couple familiar names that you see in here. One of them is Quinton Henney. He's with Crescat Capital, and he's a technical advisor to the company. He's helped it a lot, kind of moving this project up the ladder relatively quickly. And the other relatively important name here is Bill Chornobay. He's the founder that discovered these properties and put them on the map, and then Goliath optioned them from him and his companies. The share structure, so we have 78 million shares outstanding, fully diluted 115 million. Crescat Capital with Quinton Henney, they own just short of 20%. Eric Sprott, just under 9%. At the moment, the company has 3 million in cash, and we are looking at about another 2.5 million, probably coming in from warrants that are in the money by March or by the end of March. And so 52 weeks high was 174, 52-week low is 71 cents. Now we are trading at 82, 83 cents, as far as I know. So pretty good time to look into this company. The location, we are in the southern part of the Golden Triangle, same area as Dolly Varden, which some of you might be familiar with. The old Aniox mine that was one of the highest copper producers in America when it was active is in the same area in the southern tip of the triangle there. Here's just a zoom in to the zone. You can see the sure bet zone in the blue circle. It's right adjacent to the red line, the contact between the Stuhini and Hazelton group volcanics, where most of the mineral deposits in BC have been found so far. On this map, you can see an aerial view of the mineralized shear zone that we are targeting. The red line that you see is the mineralized zone. We can follow it for about 2 kilometers at surface, 1 kilometer up the south slope, and then it goes over the peak and down the other side. So we have a relief of about 700 meters from the bottom of the valley to the top of the mountain, and we have exposure of this mineralized shear zone over the entire length of that red line that you see there. We did 30,000 meters of drilling. 5,000 meters were in 2021, 25,000 meters last year, and we were able to delineate a pretty solid volume that I'll show you in a second. Before I go into that, I just wanted to quickly show what the rocks look like, what we are targeting. On the left side, you see the main outcrop of the shear zone. So we have a core area where we usually get nice mineralized core. It's semi-massive to massive sulfides, mainly galena, sphalerite, and pyrrhotite, and that's where we get the highest grade. This zone varies in thickness from anywhere to 1 meter to 4 or 5 meters, and surrounding that we have an area of more quartz-rich material that still contains the same sulfides, and that area extends anywhere up to 35-40 meters in thickness. This mineralized zone is hosted in a series of strongly folded Hazelton sediments. These sediments consist of sandstones, siltstones, and mudstones that are of volcanic derivation. If you look at an outcrop, this is kind of what these outcrops look like. On the left side, we have a typical outcrop that shows kind of the massive sulfide part that sticks out and is then surrounded by the more quartz-rich, more eroded material. We see the same in the core. If you look on the left side there, we have like the siltstone and mudstones, and then we transition into that the mineralized part that has the more quartz-rich sections, and then it gets into the massive sulfides toward the bottom of the red box there. So I was telling you about the model, about what we found. So we have this shear zone that has an area or a footprint of about 1.6 square kilometers so far, and 89 out of 92 holes that intersected that plane contained mineralization. Looking at the intercepts that we had from the 2022 and 2023 season, we found that it's not just one mineralized horizon, but we start seeing this additional mineralized horizon above and below the main shearbed zone, and so that's obviously going to add volume. At the moment, we don't really completely understand how these are related. Are they separate shears, or are they splays of the main shear zone, or what's going on? We also started looking into what we call the northeast fault. If I move to this here, you can see the northeast fault kind of trending northeast there. That fault is mineralized as well. So we've had a couple intercepts from this year's drilling that intercepted there. So focus for next year will be exploring more in that area, trying to figure out is this northeast fault, could this northeast fault be a conduit, kind of like a feeder source for this system, or is it just another fault? So that's kind of one part. Second priority is infill drilling in that 1.6 square kilometer area in that blue dashed outline there, and we'll try to reduce the spacing of the pierce points of the drill holes so that we can hopefully come out with a preliminary resource by the end of next season. And then the third thing that we'll be doing is drill some other outcrops that show very similar texture, mineralization, and grade to what we see at shearbed proper. So this, for example, is about 4 kilometers to the north. We have the gold swarm zone, and as you can see here, I put on the right side the same image that I had before. On the left side is the gold swarm area. Again, a high-grade core of semi-massive to massive sulfide brecciated material in the middle, surrounded by this strongly silicified, still relatively high-grade material, and then hosted in the sediments. So we'll be doing some drilling there as well. And then we have a couple new outcrops and new ground that the company staked over the last summer, and we'll start prospecting these new areas, do some mapping, and follow up on showings that have been found before that we haven't had time to look at. And I think that's pretty much it.